everyone, and welcome back to today's video lesson. So today is our final video lesson, as on Friday the school is shut, ready for the summer holidays. So today, because it is our final video lesson, there are some special things that are happening. But before I get into that, I just want to say well done to all of you for taking part in these lessons. I know it has been hard. I know that there have been challenges that you've had to deal with, and that it's feeling very strange and weird to be learning online and to be accessing Teams and not being in school. But I just want to say you've done a fabulous job, and we have loved seeing the amazing work that you've been creating. And a massive well done to your parents as well. I've got to say, they have been truly awesome, and you should be saying a massive thank you to them for becoming teachers during this time. It is an incredibly tricky situation that we've all been thrust into, and I think that you've all been amazing. So you should all give yourselves a big pat on the back. So today's video lesson is going to be split into two parts. The first part is going to be a PSHE lesson. PSHE stands for Personal, Social, Health and Emotional. And the second part of this video is going to contain something really special, which I'm not going to spoil for you, so I hope you stick around till the end. So, for today's PSHE lesson, what I really want to talk about is our worries. During this time, things have been changing, and we've been put in situations that we've never been put in before. And one of the overwhelming feelings I feel that a lot of people are feeling is that they feel worried. And I want us to really unpack that. And there will be a little task at the end that you guys can choose to do. It is not something you have to share on Teams. It is something that you and your parents might find really helpful for dealing with your worries. And I'll be uploading that document onto Teams, and I will make sure that it's available for you all. But I will get to that task later. So today we're going to be talking about our worries. So being worried, feeling worried, is a normal feeling to have. We talk about the feeling of being worried as being in the yellow zone on the zones of regulation. And when you're in the yellow zone, you're in this position where you could fall into the red zone, so become angry and feeling out of control. Or you could tip into the blue zone and start to feel sad and like things can't be fixed. And during a normal year, we all have worries. Worries is something that we have throughout our lives. And worries are these little niggly feelings that might make our tummies feel funny. We might not be able to stop thinking about them. They might keep us up at night, and they might make us feel sad or angry or scared. Things we might worry about in school are things like being late, your homework, playtimes and lunchtimes, and who you're going to play with. You might worry about the after-school activities you know you're going to. You might worry about going to treetops. You might feel worried about taking part in the school play. There are lots of things that we worry about throughout the day, throughout the week, and throughout the year. And during a normal year, we have these feelings. However, this year has not been a normal year for us. This year, we have had to add to our bag of worries COVID-19. Now, your original bag of worries might contain different things from what I've said. But when you add COVID-19 and returning to school after such a long break and having lockdown to that bag of worries, those worries might feel really overwhelming. They might feel really difficult to deal with. And over the summer holiday, because you've got that time off, you might find that you have more worries than you usually do. You might overhear adults talking and hear things that make you feel even more worried. And what I want you to understand is that it is okay to have worries. We all have these worries too. Even adults and even teachers have these worries too. And so I want you to pause for a moment. I want you to sit back in your chair. I want you to close your eyes and think really carefully about what might be worrying you. You might not have a worry that springs immediately to mind. You might not have a worry right now. You might have a few worries, or you might feel like you've got lots of worries. But you might have also had worries in the past, and I just want you to spend a moment and just have a little think about those things that might be making you feel worried. Okay, have you thought about it? Good job. So, I've now got a little video that I would like you to watch, and it is a story being told, and that story is called Ruby Finds a Worry. Now, I've put the YouTube link on this PowerPoint, but I will also put the YouTube link down below. It is a very beautiful story, and it's a very lovely story, and whilst you are watching it, I want you to think, listen carefully, and think about the message of the story. What is it trying to tell you about worries? So this is your chance to pause the video and go away and have a little watch and listen. Have you watched the video? Excellent. So this is our time now to reflect. And what I would like you to do is, if there is a sibling or a family member who is available to have a little chat with you, I want you to discuss these questions and to have a little think about the answers to these questions. What kind of worries do you think Ruby was having? What did Ruby do that helped her with her worries? And what do you think the message of the story was? So in this story, Ruby has a worry. And that worry, the more she thinks about it, gets bigger and bigger and bigger. And then she gets more worries. And she finds that she's got more and more worries, and they are getting bigger and bigger and bigger. And at the end of the story, Ruby happens to see another child who also has a worry. And she decides to share with him her worry. And he decides to share with her his worry. And they discover that their worry goes away because they have talked about it. And that Ruby discovers that every time she has a worry, when she shares it, she's able to manage that worry. She's able to make it smaller, and she's able to make it go away. And what I really think is the message of this story is that a problem shared is a problem halved. When you talk about your worries with somebody that you trust, and that person you trust can be anyone, it can be a friend, a family member, it can be a teacher. When you tell somebody that worry, they are able to help you make sense of that worry and to understand that maybe that worry isn't as big as you think it is, to help you to solve the problem that you are worrying about. They'll be able to give you advice. When you share that worry, that problem is something that can be solved now with two minds, and two minds working together on a problem is better than one mind worrying about that problem. We all have worries, and as Ruby discovered in that story, when she felt that she was most alone, she found somebody else who also had worries, and you will discover that lots of us have worries. And this year especially, we will have had more worries than we usually do, which is why it is so important that you talk about them. Now, one of the things I will say about this is I know that it's really, really difficult to just turn to somebody and tell them about your worry. Especially as we're coming up to September, I think this is a really important topic because you will have worries about returning to school. Things might be different, and your parents might have to have a conversation with you about things that are meant to keep you safe, but might still make you feel a little bit worried. And I understand that it is hard to talk about those things. So I have a little task, and I've called this task the worry bag. The document I will be uploading to Teams is a picture of a bag. It's just a blank black outline. And this task is meant to help you have a starting point for discussing things that you are worried about. And you don't have to do this task once. This can be something that maybe you do with your parents that you find helpful to start that conversation about things that are worrying you. So on Teams will be this picture of this bag. And what I want you to do is decorate your bag however you want. Go wild, fill it with colours. And then what I want you to do is write down your worries, or an adult can write down your worries for you, and you can put them in your bag of worries. And then what I want you to do is share that bag of worries with other people in your house or people that you trust. And you will discover that those worries in your worry bag will start to feel smaller and smaller and smaller, and eventually they won't be worries that you have anymore. This is a really great opportunity for you guys to start to have a discussion about things that might be worrying you as we lead up into September. And if you have any major worries coming into September, know that when we come back, you can share those worries with me or your teachers, and we will do our best to make you feel safe, welcomed, and loved inside our classrooms. I hope you found today's little lesson about worries really useful. And so now I'm going to move on to the second half of this video. And I have got a little surprise. So because today is our final video, and normally on our final day of school, we'd have a party and we'd be going outside and playing games and having lots of fun. We'd get certificates and have this great time together. And because we don't get to have that this year, it's made us as teachers feel a little bit sad that we can't say goodbye to you and that you guys are unable to say goodbye to us for over the summer holidays. Now, I want to make it clear, you will still be seeing us. You will still see us all in September, but we just want to say goodbye to our classes. So, to our superstars, our wrens, our robins, our squirrels, our hedgehogs, and our hares. So your first message is one I'm going to read out from Mrs. Harper. Hello wrens, I hope you are all well and looking forward to the summer holidays. Thank you for being such a wonderful class. I have loved being your teacher, and so has Mrs. Carswell. Every day with you was filled with fun and happiness. I have missed you all, but I will see you in September at playtimes, choosing time and lunchtime. I look forward to having a chat with you and catching up on your news. I bet you've grown, and some of you have probably even lost a tooth or two. Have a fabulous summer. I hope the sun shines. With love, Mrs. Harper. So I hope to those wrens that makes you feel a little bit better, that Mrs. Harper has been thinking about you. And so our next message is from Mrs. Mitchell and Mrs. Richards, and this is to their robins. A big hello from Mrs. Richards and Mrs. Mitchell. You are all amazing, so kind and caring. You are a great team. Have a lovely holiday and see you in September when you will be year ones. Lots of love, Mrs. Mitchell and Mrs. Richards. The next message is from me to my squirrels class. To all of my wonderful squirrels, thank you for being hilarious, kind, and a very thoughtful class. I know this year has been different, but I've thoroughly enjoyed being your teacher, and I hope you have enjoyed being a part of my class. I miss you all, and I'm thinking of you. I hope you have a great time over the summer and that you stay safe. I will see you back in school as Year 2s in September, and I cannot wait to hear about all the fabulous things you've been up to. Lots and lots of love, Miss David. Okay, this is a message from Mrs. Brown and Mrs. Morfill to the hedgehogs. We have been thinking about you all and we really missed you. We are proud of all of the hard work you've done at home and know that you are going to have a fantastic time in Year 3. We look forward to seeing you back in school as part of Key Stage 2 in September. Well done and have a good summer. And last but not least, a message from Miss Andrews to her hares. I had a fantastic year with all of the hares. Thank you for making the year fun and interesting. Good luck for next year, though I will still see you all. From Miss Andrews. And so, to end, thank you for being such wonderful classes. We love our jobs and we love working with you at Mereside. And we know that things have been different, but we will still all see you in September. We aren't going anywhere.